as I am going through these videos, I'm making the second set of videos for those who have been watching these Yada's videos. This is part 2 of the pre-videos of Yada and my rebuttals. Young men, this video is dedicated to you. I will be talking to the ladies a little bit later. But I say this again to you all. Do not allow anyone to tell you that you're not a man because you don't fit their description of what a man is. Especially if that man that's calling you out to be not a man is not helping you become the better version of yourself. This video is for entertainment purposes as well as education, also known as edutainment. Well, I'm putting this food up in my refrigerator. As I said in the previous video, your humility will get you further than your ego ever will. As of now, I have been in this apartment for 3 years. 3 years prior to me moving here, I had surgery on my colon, which is in this area right here, connecting to my rectorial area because I was a victim of colon cancer. And for several years, I had to go from moving out of an apartment within my ex-wife, well now my ex-wife, to nearly being homeless, not having a place to go other than living in my store before making a move to Florida, and then I'm ending up in the hospital because of rectorial bleeding, later on finding out that I had colon cancer. I almost died from it, hospitalized 3 times. And finally, after COVID, and 3 years after COVID, they finally agreed to do my surgery. One important thing I want to mention during this time was I was going through a very rough period, running a business, running a new business, opening up new doors, and had I not got sick, those doors would be way open further than where they are now. But I never stopped giving in to my higher power. I did not quit. I kept going. It was rough. You learn a lot about people and what they think about you. You learn a lot about people not believing that you have the ability to move on steadfast and stay on your mission. I want to speak about a man by the name of Yada Awaken in this video, and a product that he's called Apple of Eve. I want to pay attention to this because this product is supposed to help people with health issues. And me being a cancer survivor, learning from 2 great men who are no longer here, my personal elder, Chris Williams, and the late great Dr. Sabi, when I got to meet him in 2014, the lessons that they gave me, I always have here and here. One of the most important lessons that I ever learned came from a woman by the name of Eloise, affectionately known as Ella. And this is the message that I give you. The next time you watch a video from this particular person whose videos are very popular, disrespecting men, I ask you to do yourself a favor. Take heed to this advice. When you see the comments or complaints or the insults that you see his fans do to men, remember these words that Eloise, affectionately known as Ella, gave me about women. And if you utilize this, you will never have a problem with a woman ever again. In fact, that woman will probably seek you out. The statement that she gave me at a very deep time in my life, because that year that I met her, my godmother passed away. She said these words: when a woman shows you who she is at that very moment, act accordingly. That means the moment that someone disrespects your character, act accordingly. When a woman decides she no longer wants to be with you and she has options, act accordingly. Whenever a situation occurs that may affect you at that very moment, act accordingly. It does not mean you have to be disrespectful. It does not mean that you have to be evil or impute evil intentions on someone. It simply means act accordingly. Never, ever lose that thought that I just gave you. And lastly, I want to also express to you one of the greatest sins a man could ever do when it comes to a woman. Take my advice. I did this. and I paid for it. When I was 18 years old, I dated a very beautiful woman whose name I'm not going to say, but her mother and I had disagreements as far as the way that we believed in God. I was a Muslim, she was Pentecostal. Her daughter loved me, I loved her. But because of the fact that women who are very religious have certain things that they feel is right, no matter what. One day, before I was going to my college, I got a call, and she asked me, I need to sit down and talk with you about something. I didn't understand what it was at first, but she said, I really need to talk to you. We never had that thing. Now I'm beginning to think that maybe she is interested in having that thing. I never pressed myself upon this woman. I was always respectful. Later on, I come to find out when we actually got together and talked, I'm nervous. I don't know what's going on. She popped this question. Follow me. She asked me if I love her, give up my religion for her. The whole atmosphere in that room changed. Here I am, very serious about Islam, standing on my principles, and I was just asked to walk away from that for her. At that moment, I told her, I love you, but I ain't giving up my soul for nothing physical. And unfortunately, we broke up. A couple of weeks later, we got back together again. But as my friend Rick said to me when I told him what happened, it had to happen. Now you know what to do. Ella, when I was 48 years old, said those same words, but in her own magic way. When a person shows you who they are, you act accordingly. So if a woman is not respecting you because you're only paying 50% of the bills in the house, but you all live together, she's letting you know who she is right then and there. Act accordingly. That goes the same with a man. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you all are taking care of bills and you've been taking care of bills all this time in that matter, and somebody comes in and says this person ain't a man because he's only doing 50% of the bills, that man did the same thing the devil did to Eve in the garden when he made her eat that apple and told her, you're not going to die, you're going to be just like them, knowing good from evil. And what happened after that? All the chaos, all the hard work, all the pain was taken on after that situation happened. This is what Yada's philosophy is, thus his product, Apple of Eve. Are you getting the message? I'm going to do another video and I'm going to stick with that point and then I'm going to add on to it. But the lesson of this video, young men, when a woman shows you who she is, act accordingly. And lastly, I always believe that God is the greatest mathematics or mathematician, and life is based upon mathematics. Study the biblical book of Proverbs 31:3. 3 and 1, 4. Add the 3, 7. That's the God number. And it's just ironic that that number adds up to 7. There's another one, Psalms 82, verse 6. 8, 2, 10. 10, 6, 16. 6, 1, 7. That verse says, I said ye are gods, children of the Most High, but you will die like men and fall like one of the princes. You are God incarnate. In Proverbs 31:3, give not thy strength to a woman. If you got that message, let it resonate. Learn from these videos. September 1st, 2026. Stay tuned.